Hey, what's up, gang? John from EditorNinja here. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 metrics that you need to be tracking in your agency if you want it to grow. So I'm always amazed by the people who have built multiple 6-figure agencies, but they have no concept of their metrics. And these metrics are super important because they let you know how much you're being paid, how much every lead is worth to you, how much every client is worth to you, and also how much you're able to spend on marketing or how much you should be spending on marketing in order to get more leads, to get more clients, to grow faster. So today I'm going to show you the 5 metrics, and they are how many leads you're getting, how many you close into new clients, revenue and gross profit per client. I'm talking about lifetime gross profit as well and why that's a super important metric. Delivery margin, so how profitable each project is, and your LTGP to CAC ratio and why that's so important. So first of all, new leads. To grow your business, you have to get more leads. Now, leads can mean a lot of different things. What I'm talking about is 2 types of leads. One is what we call an MQL, and the other one is an SQL. So an MQL is a marketing qualified lead. So this is a lead that marketing gets. They have things like a business email address, a verifiable email. You can find the person on LinkedIn, that sort of thing. So that's a marketing qualified lead. A sales qualified lead is someone that the sales team has spoken with, and they verified the person's information. They verified the need. They verified that what they need is what you offer. And they also have the budget. And finally, they're in the market to buy. That is a sales qualified lead. So you might be driving leads to, say, a free quiz or something like that, right? They put in their name, they put in their email address, and they submit it. That is a lead right there. But it's not a marketing qualified lead. Then they turn it into an inquiry. That's what we call a marketing qualified lead. They're saying, hey, I am interested, right? Maybe they schedule a phone call. That's great.
Hey, what's up? It's John, just out here on a quick walk by my house. Hey, if you're getting value from this, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. It's just one quick click or one tap of the thumb that'll let you know when new videos are published. And if you're really getting value from this, I'd love it if you'd share this video with a friend, a colleague, an enemy, whoever it is that you think would get value from it too. Thanks so much. Back to the video.
So once that happens, then it goes into a CRM, like a sales CRM, a Zero or something like that, a HubSpot. And then the sales team takes the handoff and then they qualify it and they move it to qualified or price quote or something like that. And so then it becomes an SQL. What you need to be tracking is how many leads you're getting. So we got 50 form submits, we got 10 QLs, and we got 6 SQLs, for example. If you look up here, I put a screenshot of a spreadsheet that you can use to see what it looks like to visualize it. The second one is number of new clients. So I'm eternally flabbergasted, I love that word, that agencies don't know how many new clients they're getting per month. They're not tracking it anywhere. They're like, no, we're signing new clients, but they don't have a way to look at it over the months and see how many clients they signed. When are you signing more clients? Is it the spring? Is it the summer? Is it the fall? Is it the winter? Is it right before Christmas? Is it right after Christmas? All of these numbers are important because they help you finely tune your marketing and sales system. So it's pretty easy to track this. You just look at your CRM or whatever it is that you keep track of new clients and you say, okay, we signed 4 new clients this month. We signed 3 new clients this month, whatever that is. And the reason why you need this number is because now you're able, we got 8 SQLs and we signed 5 clients. So we have a 60% close rate or something like that. And you can track that over time and you get to what your average close rate is. For an agency, by the way, it should be somewhere between 30 and 50, 40 to 50%, something like that. If you're getting a lot more referrals and you're earlier, it's going to be higher. Later on, it's going to get lower. But if you're at like 20%, then something's going wrong either in your marketing system or in your sales system, and you need to get that back up. Targeting somewhere between 30 and 50%, 35, 40% is ideally where you want to be for qualified clients that you pitch. I've put another spreadsheet right up here, which is continuing on the first one, which shows you how I start to build it out and you can track your close rates right there. The third metric that you need to know is delivery margin. So what we're really looking for here is cost of goods sold. So how much does it cost you to deliver work that you have sold? So say you sell someone for $2,000, how much do you have to pay people and how much are you spending on tools in order to fulfill that work? So we're ideally trying to keep this below 30%. So if you're at 30%, you're doing okay. If you're lower than that, like 20% or 15%, depending on the service, you're doing really well. You could also potentially be under delivering. If you look at your churn rate and your churn is super high, then you might need to spend more on delivery, better people, better systems, that sort of thing. But if you can be at 20% COGS, then you got 80% what we call gross profit. This isn't net profit, which is what you take home, but gross profit out of which you can spend all the other things, your marketing, your overhead, all that sort of stuff. But we're trying to find our total cost of goods sold. So that is people plus. Here's the example right here. So if you sell someone for $2,000 and it costs you $600 to deliver, you have $1,400 of gross profit, which is about 70%, and you're doing pretty well. So the fourth metric that we need is actually 2 metrics. So we're looking for customer lifetime value and lifetime gross profit. So lifetime value is revenue. How much does an average client pay you? And then lifetime gross profit is how much gross profit do you make, which is total revenue minus cost of goods sold or delivery. I don't want you to get sucked into the thinking that you can't calculate customer lifetime value because we're still working with these clients. That's an excuse and it's lazy, and you actually can calculate it. And here's how. So most invoicing software has a place where you can download your clients and how much they've paid you. I just do this in Stripe, to be totally honest with you. I go in, I filter by the dates, and I download a CSV and I put it into Google Drive. So the information that you need for each client is total revenue and total number of payments made. And that's it for this calculation, because total revenue tells you how much they paid you. Total payments made tells you how many months they stay or how many pay periods they stay through. And then from there, you can get their average payment as well, which is also really good to know. So I've put an example right up here that I'm going to be giving you some exact numbers from, just to illustrate exactly what I'm talking about here. So as you can see from this, the average client pays you $7,321.43. That is phenomenal to know. And the average client makes 3.42 payments. So let's call it 3 for simplicity. The average client payment is $1,927.57. Pretty cool. So now you have lifetime value. You know their total amount that they pay you each month. And of course, this is average. So half are below and half are above. But this is average, and it's a number that you can start optimizing towards. So if your close rate is 34%, aka you close 1 out of 3, you now know that every single lead is worth $2,489.29 to you. Pretty cool. Most people have no idea how much a lead is worth to them. And so they're constantly optimizing for the lowest cost leads, when actually you don't need to be optimizing for the lowest cost leads. You need to be optimizing for the right leads. Obviously, if you can get a qualified lead for $50, that's phenomenal. But in highish ticket B2B, you're probably looking more in the 400 to 500, even up to 1,000-ish range. And I'm going to show you how you can back into that number, how much you could be spending to acquire a new client if you're trying to be super aggressive and grow your agency fast. Now let's look at lifetime gross profit. Because you know your delivery margin, finding lifetime gross profit is actually pretty easy to do. So if your delivery margin is 70% and you make $7,321.43 average per client, then you multiply that by 0.7 and you get your lifetime gross profit, which is $5,125. So what we're able to do now is we're able to look at our CAC to LTGP. So the way we do that is pretty straightforward. So let's just continue on with the example that we've been working with. So say your lifetime gross profit is $5,125. It's costing you $600 to get a qualified lead. This is a sales qualified lead. And then you close 1 out of 3. So it's costing you $1,800 to get a new client, which is going to, on average, pay you that $7,321, and your lifetime gross profit is $5,125. $1,800 is your CAC, $5,125 is your LTGP. So your LTGP to CAC ratio is 2.84 to 1. This is right around the minimum that if you're trying to grow, you need to be at. Ideally, if you're looking to grow, you need to be at 5 to 1, 6 to 1, 8 to 1. People that have made a ton of money in services, they're more like 10 to 1, 15 to 1, 20 to 1. That's really hard to get to. But if you're at 3 to 1, you can probably get to 5 to 1, 6 to 1, something like that. And it gives you a lot more cash to work with. So the final thing to put together is understanding how much could you be willing to pay in order to acquire a new client, so that then you can grow the agency faster. Now, if these numbers were your real numbers, you're at 2.84 to 1, you're about maxed out on where you should be. So you have two different ways to improve this. You either need to lower your acquisition costs, so improving your close rates, or just looking at the individual channels and what you're spending on each, where are the best leads coming from, and can you scale those up? So maybe you're getting a lot of leads from Google and they're costing you like $1,000 a pop or something like that, right? Those are pretty expensive. But if you can slide that over time to referral or organic, content-based, that sort of thing, you're going to lower your customer acquisition costs pretty significantly. So you're getting leads for like 150. You're going to be doing really well because your LTGP to CAC is going to be 10 to 1, and you're going to be able to grow a lot better, right? So there are these marketing channels where you can get leads a lot cheaper. You can also often get a volume of them, and so you can have more at bats, which is pretty great. How much you can spend is really based off of what is your lifetime gross profit and how much does it cost you to acquire a new customer. But in order to influence those numbers, you have to know how many leads you're getting, you have to know how many you're closing, and so therefore what your sales close rate is, and then also what your delivery margin is, so that then you can calculate your lifetime gross profit and then ultimately get down to this lifetime gross profit to CAC ratio. So why don't you go and calculate this for yourself? I'd be super curious what it is that you're dealing with. If you'd like to send it to me and have me take a look at it, I would love to do that. Go to Instagram.com/DohertyJ. Send me a DM. I'd love to chat with you about it. And if you're looking to grow your agency, I work with agency owners to help them grow. EditorNinja helps companies scale their content through content editing and content writing services. I also work with agencies to help them grow their agency, honestly, so that they can be more profitable, they can sign more clients, they can create more content, and they're going to need to use us more. So if you'd like my help, Instagram.com/DohertyJF. If you're looking for content editing and writing services for your agency, go to EditorNinja.com, click the Get Started button in the top, and I would love to speak with you there as well. All right, y'all, John Doherty from EditorNinja. I'm out of here.